There's always something interesting going on in the MMA world that causes fans and fighters to go into a tizzy. A recent hot topic was when Fernand Lopez revealed the cause of the split with Francis Ngannou. Let's look into the reasons why they parted ways after so many years and other MMA news. Why did Lopez and Francis split after all this time? There was a series of events between Fernand Lopez and Francis Ngannou that led to their breakup, but it was never about being envious of the spotlight. The bullet points of Ngannou's departure from the MMA Factory gym, where Lopez is a head coach, are now well known to the majority of the MMA community. The controversy has provided excellent promotional material for the Undisputed Champions Championship Unifier versus Cyril Gane, a former comrade and Lopez's new charge at UFC 270. In the public eye, Lopez is still irritated by how the public perceives what happened. Perhaps his biggest gripe is that he can't explain himself without coming out as angry or resentful of Ngannou's achievements, which Ngannou has said is the source of the coach's dissatisfaction. Lopez feels that his dissatisfaction with the champion was justified, and the character defects he witnessed during his time with the Predator will one day be verified. Lopez said on the MMA Hour, "I don't expect anything from him. What I'm saying is that in the past, people that know, I'm pretty sure if you have a chance to call other coaches, they'll say to you what I'm saying. They can't say that publicly. If Francis loses the fight, then people start to talk. Just hold on, see what happens." When they were living and training together, Lopez allegedly requested Ngannou to leave the MMA Factory on 2 occasions. Once because Ngannou refused to pay the gym's €600 monthly fee around the time of his 2016 UFC match with Anthony Hamilton. Lopez comments, "This is crazy." Apparently, Francis said to Lopez that he is the one who is bringing light into the gym and that he shouldn't need to pay any membership fees. Lopez was very frustrated because after 4 years of being in his gym, he has not asked Francis for anything. "This is crazy, you must be crazy," he had said to Francis. Lopez claims Ngannou, with whom he shared Cameroonian ancestry, was like many other homeless persons who he had allowed into the gym for free training. When Ngannou began to gain traction in the UFC, he felt it was only fair that he'd be given a piece of the pie. Ngannou, on the other hand, he claimed made a tough bargain. Ngannou was named Knockout of the Year at the 2018 Fighters Only World MMA Awards for his highlight reel knockout of Alistair Overeem at UFC 2018. According to Lopez, his acceptance speech was devoid of appreciation for the gym and trainers who had helped him get there. No hard feelings. Despite all that is happening, Lopez says he's happy for Ngannou's accomplishments and feels the champion possesses many positive attributes. He lauds Ngannou's switch to Extreme Couture, where he claims coach Eric Nixick did an excellent job of honing his concentration. However, it appears that he has no desire to collaborate with Ngannou again in the future. He claimed that if he had to pick between training Francis for 10 minutes for $100,000 and training Game for free, he'd choose the latter. Next up in other MMA news, Roman Dolitch steps in for Brad Tavares at the UFC Vegas 44. Brendan Allen will need to face a different opponent than expected if he wants to prolong his winning run. Following the withdrawal of previously scheduled opponent Brad Tavares, MMA Fighting's Damon Martin and Mike Heck verified via sources with knowledge of the move that Allen will now fight Roman Dolitch in a middleweight encounter at UFC Vegas 44 on December 4th. The reason for Tavares' departure has not been revealed. Allen has won both of his fights in 2021, defeating Punahele Soriano by unanimous decision in July and Carl Roberson by heel hook submission in the opening round in April. Allen has a 5-1 record in the UFC, including victories over Kevin Holland, Tom Breeze, and Kyle Dacos. Dolitch returns to the octagon after his last 3 contracts were canceled. In June, the Georgian boxer defeated Laureano Staropoli by unanimous decision in his most recent contest. He has a 3-1 record in the UFC. Everyone wants a piece of McGregor. When it comes to his next bout, Conor McGregor never runs out of alternatives. The Irish superstar, who is presently healing from a fractured leg, is still being criticized on a daily basis. McGregor hasn't fought since losing to Dustin Poirier by TKO medical stoppage at UFC 264 in July, but it hasn't stopped him from verbally sparring with other fighters. Despite the fact that McGregor, 22-6 MMA, 10-4 UFC, isn't having the finest season of his career right now, he's 1-3 since 2018. The former UFC 2-division champion remains the sport's biggest star and most profitable attraction. After his horrible injury, McGregor is as motivated as ever to make a comeback and prove the critics wrong. But who will he fight when he returns? In 2022, the Notorious will have many willing and eager opponents to face, including Michael Chandler and Max Holloway. Conor McGregor was aware that his leg would be compromised going into his trilogy bout with Dustin Poirier, which is why he spent time on his back in preparation. The former two-division UFC champion disclosed on Twitter on Wednesday that his leg had been bothering him before his bout in July, which is why he didn't freak out when his leg shattered during an exchange on the feet at the conclusion of the first round. McGregor's road to recovery. McGregor had surgery to fix a fractured bone in his leg, but he's been eager to get back to training while waiting for complete clearance. His health is on the mend, which is excellent news for supporters of the former two-division champion, especially because injuries like this don't usually go as planned. Former UFC middleweight champion Chris Weidman suffered a similar leg break to McGregor earlier this year, and his recuperation has been hampered by setbacks. While there's no definite date for when McGregor will be ready to fight again, he has previously stated that he plans to return in mid-2022, which would be 1 year after he fractured his leg. While the outcome will always be a defeat on his record, McGregor couldn't be happier with the offense he was putting up off his back, and he says there's plenty of unfinished business with Poirier once he's well enough to compete again. Jorge Masvidal on his return. It's something he claims he's never done before in his almost two-decade career. He walked away from a battle. Masvidal withdrew from his scheduled UFC 269 contest against Leon Edwards, a grudge match between two of the welterweight division's top-ranked fighters, due to an unexplained injury. Masvidal announced his expected comeback date, which is in 5 to 6 weeks, while keeping injury details under wraps. In an ideal scenario, Masvidal would have moved his bout with Edwards back 6 weeks, as he requested from the UFC. He gets why Edwards wants to fight champion Kamaru Usman for the championship instead of waiting for him to recover. Masvidal would choose Edwards over friend-turned-rival Colby Covington if he had to choose between the two. In his mind, he struck a deal with Edwards and believes he owes him a scrap. Of course, this fight is one we're still eager to see. Vieira versus Tate. Before taking a break for the Thanksgiving holiday, the UFC will stage one more event, UFC Fight Night Vieira versus Tate, on Saturday night, featuring a former champion as the main event. Miesha Tate, a former bantamweight champion, had a triumphant return to MMA in July, defeating Marion Renaud by TKO. She was supposed to fight Keltlin Vieira in October, but a positive COVID test forced her to postpone the fight by a month. Vieira will be hoping to recover from her last performance, in which she was defeated by Yana Kunitskaya in a tight unanimous decision. Vieira is a 1-2 in her previous 3 fights and needs to win against a big name like Tate to keep her bantamweight title hopes alive. This is a fight you cannot afford to miss. Halle Berry on MMA. She has fought mutants in multiple X-Men films and has battled assassins in films like John Wick 3, but nothing could have prepared Berry for the physicality of portraying a mixed martial artist. Berry portrays a down-on-her-luck former UFC contender whose life has gone apart in the aftermath of a terrible bout that basically terminated her career in her new film Bruised, which was released in cinemas on November 17 before its Netflix launch on November 24. Berry's character needs to get herself back in shape when given the chance to make a return, which means the Oscar winner had to go through a genuine training camp in order to persuade the viewers that she was a fighter. Berry felt immediately attracted to the film after reading the narrative, especially because she's been a die-hard fight fan for her whole life, including multiple appearances at UFC events in recent years. Francis and Lopez have split after years of training together. Francis will need to be more aware of the way he treats others to prevent events such as this from happening in the future. Lopez has shown incredible kindness and wishes Francis all the best on his next journey with a new trainer. What a top guy. Thank you for watching.